Well, hello there. Let me work my technology here. I believe I'm live now. This is Angelus, your mindset business coach and trainer. Welcome to another one of my videos. Today, we're going to talk about something that we've all heard about before, vision boards. What's the big deal with vision boards? Sometimes they're known as dream boards, inspirational boards, manifestation boards, whatever names that you find them or you Google them. They really all come down to two categories. And I want you to understand, if you're only using your vision boards to inspire you, just to remind you of things that you like or enjoy, but don't necessarily want to become or manifest, this video is not for you. If you're interested in actually using it as a tool to manifest things that you don't have in your life presently, you've come to the right place. So let me get to the point. Vision boards, if you're using them for manifestation purposes, before I go into the process of doing that, I want you to understand there's nothing wrong in using vision boards. They're great tools. They grasp the mind. They help you to focus. They help you even to imagine. I don't personally use them anymore in the same sense. I have created what I call a 3D vision board. Again, it's another variation off a vision board. Vision board is two-dimensional, meaning you usually cut out pictures, words, in some cases, designs, or whatever, symbols. You put them somewhere on some kind of paper, cardboard, just to look at every day. And it helps you to, again, focus. I like to use 3D vision boards, which I'll talk about at the end when I'm finished. But again, it doesn't matter. As long as you are intending to use it in a specific way, that's what matters. Now, I'm only going to be focusing this video on how to use it for manifestation. Now, manifestation, how do you use a vision board to manifest things? Some people believe that they need something outside themselves to do this. No, everything comes from inside. What you create in your mind will eventually come out in your reality if you focus long enough, even hard enough on it. That's just quantum mechanics, the laws of attraction. That's the way the universal laws work. If you focus on it, it will come to fruition. Now, that's just common sense if you think about your whole life. Everything that you got out of your life, everything that you created in your life, everything that came out of passion and wonderment or joy, you focused a lot of attention on. Those things that were like your why for existence. You're waking up every morning for this one thing, and it quickly happened in a short period of time. Despite the skill sets or despite the education, your background, your upbringing, it didn't matter. You focused on it because you really had a passion for it, and it came to being. Now, was it good for you or not? That's another story. That's irrelevant. It all works. The universe doesn't judge. It just gives you what you focus on. So with vision boards, to make them a manifestation device, like it's a tool, something that really gets you somewhere, I get my clients to do an exercise. Now, a while back, I told them, listen, forget about them being as just for inspiration and dream. You want to create something in your life. So do this. Take that vision board. And and this is a simple exercise I gave them. I said try this out on small things, because small things happen faster than big things. It's just the law of nature, physics. It's easier to freeze a little bit of ice than to freeze, a glacier. So things that are bigger take longer to happen. So if you want to see quick results to galvanize in your mind that, hey, this is possible, this is real, I can do this even more on grander scales, you start with small stuff. But when I did that with my clients, a few of them didn't pay attention. They pictured the big stuff. They didn't want to work with the little stuff. They had no patience for the little stuff. They said, this got to work on the big stuff. I don't want to work my way up. Fine. So they did this simple technique, which I'm going to tell you now. You take all 5 senses, okay? And you take your vision board, and let's just say you put a picture of your ideal car. These are not small things, of course, but this is what they focused on. The ideal place they wanted to live. They were in the process of moving, or ideal type of jewelry that they always wanted, or a family member they haven't seen in a while, something or place they haven't traveled to, but they always wanted to. So I tell them, put the picture, put the image, put the symbol on the board, and just sit down 2 or 3 times a day for a couple of minutes and use all 5 senses, and just imagine it in those senses. So here's an example. I would like to get this new car. I'm in the process of looking for a car, but the particular car I like may be out of my price range. Well, I would focus, starting with the first sense that comes to mind is the touch. So for a couple minutes, I would, well, half a minute at least, I would touch the car. Pretend, just use your imagination. And you can even look at the picture or the symbol you got of the car as you're doing this. Picture imagining that you're touching the car outside, you're sitting in the car. If it has leather bucket seats, you can imagine sitting in the bucket seats, feeling the leather, touching the steering column, pumping on the brakes and the gas. Anything and everything that car model works. You're pretending to touch it. I've had some people even go, I said, if you don't know much about the car, go out to a car dealership, find that exact car, and just sit in it, touch it, everything, so you know what it feels like. And then come home and do that exact same exercise. You're in the car, you're touching it, and after you've done that for 30 seconds to a minute, use another sense, this time to smell. So I would, and again, if you go out, if you're working on a car, you go sit in the car, you're going to also remember the smell. So you sit in that car, and now you're smelling the car. You smell it. If it has leather bucket seats, you smell the leather bucket seats. You smell the new car smell, the plastic, the foam, the carpets. You smell it. And maybe it just got washed in a car wash, and you got that nice smell to it on the outside. Just sit there, look at the image, and just smell it like you're really there. Do that for another 30 seconds to a minute. Then you go on to the next sense, hearing. What does that car sound like? What is that in your mind? It has a certain sound. Maybe you started the engine, when you were there. Maybe you saw it riding. You could hear driving by, other people own it, and you see them driving it. You can hear it. So you do this with each 5 senses. Okay. Obviously, I show you what to do with them. Do the same exercise with each 5 senses for 30 seconds to a minute, 3 times a day. That's all you do. That's all you focus on. And if you do that every day, depending again, the smaller it is, the faster it comes. So the bigger it is, give it time. I've had my clients do this exercise on things which, to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to go into details. I really didn't think they can do it. I personally didn't think they can do it, but they just focused on it and focused on it and focused on it. Did the exercise. They said within I think one client did 2.5 months was the longest. 1.5 was the average. They got their dream manifestation. They received, they owned, they possessed that which they were focused on. And they became true believers in magic, true believers in quantum mechanics and the law of attraction. They realize now that they are very powerful people. All of us are very powerful beings. We have more power than we can imagine. We're just not focused on it. So with that, they use it now. Great exercise, easy to do, doesn't cost you anything. And it gives you some pleasure during the day. It gives you a little time to smell the roses, but you're creating your own roses. Now, again, like I said earlier, I don't really use 2-dimensional vision boards, but I do have my own vision boards, but they're 3-dimensional, so to speak. I think Jim Carrey was one of the actors, a comedian. He said when he first started in Hollywood, he took a check and wrote himself out a certain amount of millions of dollars that he would have in so many years. And, he wrote it down and kept it with him in his, pocket, in his wallet, and he would look at it. Now, it wasn't just his vision board. It wasn't a 2-dimensional thing. He put it on a real check. Okay. He put it on a check and he took it out often, which he doesn't tell people. And he would imagine having it. He would spend doing that exercise and looking at the check and feeling the check and even smelling the check and just believing that he would have that. And, if you go Google his story, that's what he got almost to the day of being in Hollywood. Now, I have my own, and now I've taken these examples from other clients. I've had clients that say, well, this is my vision board. It's like, that's a really nice vision board. It's 3D. I was able to get him this, and he uses it on a regular basis. Now, this is still a vision board because, like the board, he has it in his office. He sees it every day, and he thinks about it fondly. And he focuses on it when he is investing his money. And he's an investor as well as a business owner. And he says, amazing, when he focuses on this, he does make money. Now, I had other clients use less glamorous props. They use, bundle of cash. They just so they can, think about it. They see it on again. This was an idea which one of my clients used. He's also an investor, and he invests different. He doesn't invest in gold, but he does invest in property and other commodities. And he just focuses on this coming to him on a regular basis. And I thought that was great. Now these are props. It's not real money. You can see it's not real. I made them for the client because it's one of my other gifts. I am an inventor and a prop builder, but I made that for them. But then I said to myself, that's all nice, but why just use the props? They work, but Jim Carrey, he used a real check. And even though it was flat, it was still real. It's three-dimensional. So I started telling my clients, why don't you do the same? Find something real in that which you want, even if it's a small quantity of it, and put it in your hands, smell it, taste it, hear it. So I would do this, and I've done it several times. My wife would attest to it. She's seen me do it, and she'd bear witness. I'll tell them my clients, take a $100 bill. This is a real $100 bill, not fake. Or take real gold. Again, this is real gold. I've smelted it myself, and that's another story. So I would hold this when I'm focusing on increasing my wealth, specifically perhaps in gold or jewelry, because I also am an investor. I would hold the $100 bill in my hand. I would smell it, taste it, feel it. And people go, how do you don't actually lick it? I go, part of your taste buds is smelling. In fact, your nose actually has the first process of tasting. So by simply smelling it, you are tasting it, okay? So taste it with your nose, get a good whiff of it so your mouth can have that taste of it. Touch it, feel it, hear it. It has a distinct sound to it. Maybe I hope you can hear it. I don't have the best mic right now until later. Same thing with the gold. Just focus on the gold, the color of it, the texture of it, the smell of it, which really doesn't have a real distinct smell, but if you focus on it, you can smell some type of metallic smell. And it's different from, say, other metals. The texture, again, I said, you want to hear it, sometimes bang it on things, the weight of it. Just by doing that, the same exercise I said earlier, this becomes your vision board. This becomes your vision board, your manifestation device. Just like the actor used this check because it was real, it wasn't fake. And it actually sets a declaration into the universe. The quantum field picks that up. You start to manifest that far quicker than just hoping, dreaming, wanting, inspired by it. So just to give you a short background on the story, this gold, this was I smelted it down. I found when I was focusing on a small piece of jewelry, which was pure gold. It was a coin, actually, 99.9% real gold. I was focused on, I'm a coin collector, so that's one of my investments, and I wanted more gold coins. Or I wasn't really specific. I just wanted more gold. That's how I was asking. So long story short, I did the same exercise, and I ended up accidentally, strange, coincidence, synchronicity, miracle, whatever you want to call it, goes by any other name. I started finding gold jewelry in the strangest places. Taking out garbage, my neighbor's garbage to the dump, jewelry would fall out and out of the sofas, and when I came back to them, I said, listen, I found this jewelry. I found this stuff in your sofa. It fell out when I was, delivering it to the junkyard. And they go, keep it for your efforts. It doesn't mean anything to me. But when I found out later and I collected it, it was good gold. It was good jewelry. And then a friend of mine came up to me again. That's something I do in my spare time. A friend of mine came up to me about a few years back, said, I have all these computer parts. Can you do me a favor? Can you show me how to strip some of the metals from the components in it, specifically the gold plating? I said, sure, not a problem. So I did this for him, just for him for fun. I didn't charge him anything but after I was finished with all his computer junk, within a weekend, I was able to make something like this, which is worth thousands of dollars. Okay, this is just melted, chemically stripped from computer parts. Now, I wasn't focused on getting gold that way. I was just focused on gold coming to me, manifesting to me because I had it and I kept imagining it. And he said, well, for all your work, I'll give you half of whatever you strip and, for payment for just for the chemicals you buy and all the, you're not charging me. So at least I'll give you half. He gave me a few $1,000s worth of his half of the gold that I stripped out of fun on a weekend in a couple hours. That's all it took me. So a couple $1,000s worth of getting, I work a couple hours, get a couple $1,000s worth of gold. That's a good return on my investment. So this is just an example of how it's happened in my life. So I suggest if you have a vision board, do that exercise I said. But if you want to get to the next step, try to get a piece of everything that's on that vision board. If it's a house, a picture image of a house, go to a house that's similar to that. I mean, there's a lot of open houses. Well, I'm making this video during COVID, so you gotta be very careful, but there are still open houses out there. Check them out safely, the kinds that you wanna be in, and feel them, touch them, smell them, and that you can take that with you while you're looking at your picture. Or if you can take a piece of the property without getting in trouble, it's not damaging, that helps. I realized that if you have something real as opposed to something fake, it actually works much better for you. This is great for inspiration, but this is great for manifestation. Whatever works, that's the technique, and that's the difference between what vision boards do for you and can do for you. Any questions, please, in the comment, let me know. If you want to know more about how to use vision boards to manifest things, I'd be more than happy to. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. And thank you for visiting me today, and have a great day.